So you want to embody more of your feminine energy, but you keep feeling stuck. I know why. And I'm going to share with you 5 common mistakes that you may not think is common that you're making that's preventing you from truly tapping in to your feminine energy. Hey everyone, welcome back Thrivers. Welcome to all the new ones who are here on my channel. I'm Marian Valenza, and on this channel we talk about manifestation, feminine energy, and so much more. So before we dive in, I want to share with you, if you love all things manifestation and magical, check out our Etsy shop. We have journals, we have affirmation decks, we have tees that say Thriver and Master Manifester, Money Queen, we have mugs, we have all the things. So if you're all into that spiritual, woo-woo, magical manifestation stuff, you're definitely gonna want some of our swag. All right, and use promo code Thriver to get 10% off. Click the link below, all right? So let's get into it. If you love all this stuff, like all this manifestation stuff, don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell. We post videos twice a week, yep, twice a week. And say hi to me on TikTok and Instagram, especially Instagram. I check my DMs, all right? So DM me, slide into it, all right? So let's get into it. Okay, so what are these 5 mistakes? Number 1, when it comes to tapping into your feminine energy is more open. What do I mean by this? So feminine energy is open, meaning open to ideas, open to conversations, open to vulnerability. If you feel, and literally this can be an energy, you feel that when you encounter someone, let's say giving you constructive criticism or someone giving you help, you close up. Oftentimes we feel it in our bodies and you're like, oh no, or someone, tells you something about your hair, you're like, oh, no, like, and you close up. You're not open. Your energy is not open, it's closed off. This can also be noticeable when you're in romantic relationships. When your partner wants to be vulnerable or ask you a question to get to know you better and go deeper, are you more open or do you close up? Do you like, no, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to, go, because it can be deep, it can bring up some stuff. But being open, like think of a flower. Being open is part of feminine energy. When a flower is closed, when a bud is there, the bees, the birds, all the insects can't go in and pollinate it, right? The flower has to open and be receptive, which brings us to number 2, about one of the mistakes you're making. You don't know how to receive. So first you gotta be open to receiving, right? And then you actually have to receive it. Because let's say you're open to someone giving you a compliment. I'll hear it, oh, thanks. But instead of saying thank you and receiving it, you're like, oh, no, I didn't do my hair right. It's not that great. You deflect it. That means not only are you closed off, you're not receiving. So feminine energy is all about being open and receptive. So look in your life where you've been closed off and where you aren't really receiving. You may be asking the universe for manifesting love or manifesting more money, yet opportunities come to you in different ways and you're like, oh no, it's okay, or I'm not worthy, or I'm not prepared for that. A really good example is if someone offers you, let's say, a new project or gig that's gonna pay you money, and you're like, oh, I don't know if I'm ready or if I'm not good enough, and you're like, no, I don't even want to hear it. That energy is not open and receptive. Maybe that's the universe's way of saying, hey, you said you needed $100, 500, this is the opportunity. Why are you saying no to it, right? You never know what's going to come. So those are the first 2 mistakes that I see many people, especially women who are trying to tap more into their feminine energy, are making. So don't be closed off, open up, and be open to receiving. What's the 3rd mistake? And you know what? This was me before. Like, just to think of it kind of makes me cringe, but I'm gonna tell you. So I was a one-upper. I was always in this constant competitive mode instead of collaborative. masculine energy tends to be more competitive, whereas, it's like, oh, I want to be the best, versus feminine energy, which is more collaborative, more community, more collective, right? And when I would go into conversations, instead of just, someone would say something, I would immediately want to say something, oh, I did that too. And definitely became a one-upper. I didn't realize this. Now when I hear people doing this, I'm like, oh my gosh, especially in dating, people want to share. But if you're sharing, give space for someone to share. If you're sharing, if someone is sharing with you and you're like, oh yeah, me too, but I did this better. Ooh, I know, it just makes me cringe, because this is how I used to be, until I realized, I'm like, oh my gosh, someone wants to share something with me, and instead of being open to just listening and receiving, which goes on to our fourth one, listening, conscious listening versus hearing, oh my gosh, I realized you don't always have to say something better. You don't always have to say oh yeah, me too, but this, and start going into your story. Give people space to share and be collaborative, which leads to number 4, listening, active listening, conscious listening. There are so many people out there, especially women, and this is a mistake that they make when it comes to being in their feminine essence, when they're, let's say, talking to a partner or a date, and they want to share something, they don't actually listen. They hear it, and we note all the time when someone hears it, they're there, but they're not truly listening. They're not engaging. You feel a difference. You're like, okay, they're just this person there, but their energy's not there. Maybe they're on their phone or just looking around. You don't feel connected, right? So 3 was about don't be a one-upper, be more collaborative. And 4 leads to listen more. More people need to listen. And you know what? In your feminine energy, there's actually power in listening versus talking more. You don't have anything to prove. Your essence and your energy are enough. You don't have to feel like you have to say something to prove your worth. Just open up, listen, and actually you can get so much further and connect more, because you know what? Most men don't have anyone that truly listens to them, and so you start really building a connection when you give someone space to be vulnerable or share something they haven't, without someone saying that they're better or giving feedback that just puts them down. You create an open and safe space, and that actually leads to even more beautiful, authentic connections. And the 5th mistake that I see a lot of women make when it comes to embodying more feminine energy is they lead with ego. They lead with ego instead of laying back in with their feminine energy of vulnerability. So here is, I'm going to kind of make a dramatization, right? Let's say you're having an argument with your partner, right? And they're riled up and they're angry. Instead of meeting with your ego, meaning, oh, I better have the last say, I'm gonna say something that's gonna hurt them, and you meet them with more masculine energy, that's gonna butt heads. However, if they're heated and you actually go back into your feminine energy of, you know what, let's calm down, we can talk through this, we love each other, and going back into that grace, that actually helps soften. If you match that anger, that masculine energy with more, then you're just going to keep fighting. If when you've ever fought with anyone, when someone yells and you keep yelling, what happens? People just keep yelling. Nothing gets solved, and then you separate, feeling both angry, right? However, when you just take a breath and you don't lead with your ego and you lead with more vulnerability, and if you're I hear you, I see you, and this is in a healthy relationship, okay? This is not in an unhealthy, toxic relationship where someone is just literally, verbally and physically abusing you. That's completely different. This is in a healthy relationship, and you both know that, you can communicate properly. Going back into your softness, into your vulnerability, is going to truly change the dynamics of that relationship. into something that actually afterwards you feel more connected and you feel more in your feminine essence. And those are the 5. So look in your life. Where are you being closed when you can be more open? Where can you be more receptive? Where can you listen more? Where can you be more collaborative? And where can you be more vulnerable? And these are truly superpowers. We've been taught by society, religion, so many things that all these things are not good. They're like a sign of weakness or whatever, but it's not. It actually takes so much more strength to lean into more vulnerability, to listen, to do all of these things. So let me know in the comments below, which one really which one really was like an eye-opener for you? Because I'm here to help you really tap in and embody more feminine energy so that you can manifest with more pleasure, more ease, and just more joy, right? We just want that more. All right, so let me know in the comments below what resonated the most. All right, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel, hit that notification bell because we post videos twice a week, and say hi to me on TikTok and Instagram. All right, and don't forget, promo code for our Etsy shop, Thriver, and get 10% off all amazing magical and motivational swag. All right, bye.